And we are back. Oh my word. It is video number 3, lesson number 3. Oh, wait a minute. That's 6 fingers. Oh my gosh. So you are watching the Jackie Jackson in the Money Matters Mind Shift Workshop. And you're here on video 3, lesson number 3. I'm so excited that you guys are here with me today. I appreciate you so much for hanging in there from video 1 to video 2 to now to video 3, okay? So if you are watching this video right now and you're like, what is she talking about? Like, what is she babbling about? Like, who is this lady and why is she so happy? We're talking about your money story. We are discovering how to rewrite it, uncovering all of those hidden limiting beliefs and disempowering behaviors that are affecting your life right now from living your best life, right? With all of the 4 freedoms, right? So if you have not watched videos 1 and 2 already and downloaded the action guides that go with each of those videos and commented, make sure you comment. It's a safe zone here. So you can comment, you can share, you can invite others, you know, to the party to have some fun and to talk about this stuff, especially if you think that it would definitely, you know, help them. Please, I encourage you to do so, okay? So if you haven't watched videos 1 and 2, I encourage you to go back and do that. But today is all about video number 3 in our workshop, right? So just a brief recap. Video number 2, we talked about the 5 proven secrets to rewriting your money story, all right? So just a quick recap there. Why is it so important to like rewrite your money story? Like, what is a money story, right? So in video 2, we talked about the money story. It's not your income. It's not your assets, your debts. It's not any of those things. It's not how much money you got in your bank account. It's nothing like that. It's actually the belief system that you have. It's all encompassing. It's your relationship with money. It's what you tell yourself about money. It's what you tell yourself that you can have about money, right? Or not have about money. That's the story. It's this playing like rerun. You ever watch like a marathon? Your favorite show, a marathon of your favorite show, you like binge watch the whole thing all at one time. That's your money story. It is constantly running. It is constantly influencing your decisions. It's constantly like there affecting everything and every part of your life, right? So most of us want freedom. We want some kind of like, you know, big picture overall good life, right? So what are the 4 freedoms? Just a brief recap. The 4 freedoms are, all right, the first one is time freedom. The second one is location freedom, being able to just live wherever you want to live without any limitations on that. And the third one is your financial freedom, right? That's like all encompassing. That's the one where we talk about generational wealth and our freedom number and what does that look like, right? How do we know that, you know, we've gotten to that freedom number? Like what does that look like for us? And then the 4th freedom is our purpose freedom, our passion freedom. That means like just living life out loud and just doing our best work and really honing in on our talents and gifts so that we can bring light and joy into the world, right? So those are the 4 freedoms that people are normally going after in their life, right? And we find that we're having like some like friction. There's always like this abrasive experience to achieving those 4 freedoms, and it relates back to our money story. So one of the first ways that we talked about is determining, right, what your belief system is about money, determining what formed your money story in the first place, right? So the second was, what do you believe to be true about money, right? So when you think about it, what are these belief systems that you have about money? And I know I'm going pretty fast, but this is just a recap so we can move on to our lesson of the day for this video. So the third one here is, can you remember, this is what I asked you. So if you haven't done your homework, this was in video number 2. Can you remember the event or the person person, right? The situation that you first were introduced to money, and what impression did it make to you? Like, what impression did it make to you about money, right? And then the fourth one was look and find the connection between all of those beliefs that you had and inherited and currently have, like right now, about money, to how your life is right now, like your current relationship with money, right? Is there a connection? Is there a disconnection? Like, what's happening with that, right? So these are things that most people don't really talk about. Why? Because they are unaware that their money story is even running in the background, that rerun, that marathon that's happening. And it doesn't matter if you're a single mom like myself, or you're a married couple, or, you are an entrepreneur, or you're an intrapreneur, work for a company, living your best life. It really doesn't matter. Your money story affects everything that you do. It affects how you raise your children. It affects where you live. It affects, the decisions that you make with your career. It affects everything. It affects your income. It affects all of these things. Why? Because that story consistently has influence over your decisions and how you live your life today, right? So it behooves you to take some time to understand, dissect what your money story is, and then realize, like, this is kind of interesting. It's not aligned with my goals. Everything that I'm thinking about when it comes onto money is like taking away and distracting from my goals. So it's important to rewrite that money story. So what does it mean to rewrite and reprogram your money story? Well, when you do that, you will have the boldness, the confidence that you need to actually go forth and actually make as much money as you want. How cool is that, right? Live your best life. Whatever your new rich is, you'll have the courage, the confidence, and the boldness to go after everything that you want without fear, without guilt, and definitely without any shame. Because like your money story brings up all of these emotions, right? When it comes on to actually making money, not making money, you feel guilty, you feel dirty, you feel all kinds of stuff. You feel like elated, you feel like you deserve it. Some people don't feel like they deserve it. All of these feelings and fears and disempowering beliefs and limitations all are wrapped up into one when it comes on to money. So imagine a life being free to just make as much money as you want, like unapologetically, because you realize that money is your best friend. Like, I need it, and I need it in large quantities, and I am not apologizing for saying that out loud, right? You hear people say all the time, like, oh, I want money, but I don't want too much, just a little bit is what I need. Well, what does that mean? Like, what do you mean just a little bit? Like, what are you talking about? Like, it's either you want it or you don't want it. You can't have like this teeter-totter ambivalent like relationship with money. It's either you're going to say, I deserve it, I need it, I want it, I need it, it loves me, money loves me, it comes to me easily and effortlessly. And then you are going to empower yourself with the how to get more money, right? So the fifth thing that we did was we wrote a letter to money, right? So we said, Dear Money. We pretended that money was like a real person, and it had feelings, and we were going to write a letter to money, our best friend, and tell them how we feel about them, right? So we wrote a letter to money, right? So those are the 5 things. If you haven't done so, then you need to go back and do it, right? And I promise you, if you do it and you take it seriously, you will discover what your current money story is, and it'll enlighten you and prompt you to want to actually change it, because it doesn't align with who you are, where you want to go, and what you want to do with your life, right? So if you're trying to get to the freedom that you're looking for, and you're just like, oh my gosh, like, I just feel so insecure about my future. I don't know how I'm going to make, more money for myself. I'm going to support myself. I'm going to support my family. And I'm just so unhappy with like where I'm going. I feel stuck. I feel disencouraged. I feel like just limited, like in a box. It's your money story. So we need to talk about that and get clear on it so that you can be empowered to start to make some decisions about what you really want for yourself. Fair enough? So that was our top 5 proven secrets on how to rewrite your money story and reprogram your thinking so that you can live your best life, make as much money as you want to without fear, guilt, or shame. All right. So that was a recap from video number 2 and video number 1. So go back and watch it if you haven't, and then download the action guides and get to work. All right. So what are we talking about today? All right. It's time to build upon what we have already discussed in the first 2 videos. Okay. So now we're going to talk about like what's actually working in our lives today. What's working and what's not working and why. All right. So let's start there. So we're going to talk about what's working. Now for me, what was working for me is I was very ambitious, right? So very ambitious, no short of ambition, always willing to like try different things. And I know a lot of you out there are like just like me. You try so many different options, you start a like side business or a side hustle. We talk about side business and side hustle, or maybe you're coaching like I am, or maybe you're teaching or, showing people how to do certain things and experience their own change and transformation. Or maybe you have an e-commerce store. You start a t-shirt business or something like that. Or maybe you have a service business where you're providing like, you're doing hair, you're doing nails, or you're doing makeup, or you're doing something, or, for a lot of other businesses, you got a lawn care business or, a plumbing business. It could be anything like that. Those are the things that are working well for you. You found a way to make it work and to make it happen. Now, a lot of times when you have those moments and you're thinking about your business, you're like, man, I love the fact that I was able to start a business and it's seems to be functional, right? But then you take a deeper look inside your business and you're like, wow, there's like so much like chaos and dysfunction and things don't connect the way how I wanted to connect. And man, this is not how I envisioned my business like supporting me, right? So sometimes your business supports you financially and sometimes it doesn't. It's just something like, it takes up a lot of your time and you're working, you constantly feel like you're on a hamster wheel, right? And basically, if you're not present, at your business, then you're not making any money. Fair enough. So, there's a lot of us out there. I know I was like that, especially when I had just started out in like real estate before I developed systems to support my business process behind the scenes. I was like always like on the scene. I always had to be present. I always had to like be there. And it became so tiresome that I became really resentful of the business that I started because it did not give me the freedom that I was looking for, so that's a real thing. So what we're going to do today is identify what is working. And then after we identify what is working, we're going to say, okay, what is not working? And why do we think that it's not working? What's the disconnect in that process in our lives? So it could be in our life, it could be like in our family, in our relationships, it could be in our business. It definitely is going to be in our finances. Like what is holding you back from making the biggest amount of money that you can ever think of of making? Like what's holding you back right now? What do you think is standing in your way, if anything at all? All right, is standing in your way. Why aren't you living your best life like right now? Like what's stopping you from doing those things? And some of the answers that I came up with, and some of my coaching clients had came up with when I asked them the very, very same question is, they feel like they don't have the support, right? They come up with, great ideas, but maybe their family and their like loved ones, friends don't support them in their ideas and their ventures, right? Or maybe they feel like they don't have time. You may already have like a full-time job. And when you come home, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so exhausted. I can't even take on something else, even if I wanted to. But your time is like split between your employer, or it's split between like your children, your family life. And then you also have to have like your leisure life. You got all these competing things that are happening right in your life. And you're like, okay, well, which one is going to be priority? Because money supports all of those things. And I need to spend some time in developing what my relationship with money looks like so that I could make more of it and be able to contribute it to my family, contribute it to my business, contribute it to my faith, contribute to, my leisure activities, my hobbies, all of those things, and my passions, everything that I want to do. So I need you to write down what is working for you and what is not working for you. Okay. And then in the area that is working for you, I want you to go a little bit deeper and tell me why you believe that it's working for you. How does your money story support what is working for you? All right. So that's a very, very good question there. We don't normally look at our life from this particular angle, but it's time for us to do that, especially if you want to have really, really good success. So if you have not experienced the success that you dreamed and desired for yourself to have, then this is the slowdown. It's called the slow. It's the slowdown, right? It's the slowdown so that you can actually go really, really fast. And I believe that this is that missing key element that a lot of people tend to kind of skip over, because it's a little bit, I don't know, tedious, right? To sit down and plan out your life this way. Most people think really big picture. I'm going to go to school. I'm going to get a degree. I'm going to apply for the best job. I'm going to, start a business. It's really high level. People can understand that. But the truth is, the biggest secret that the most successful people practice every single day is being very specific and very granular in their thoughts and with their goals. Why? Why are they so granular, so particular, and so detailed? Is because the more detail they write out and more specificity that they assign to their vision and their life is the more success that they'll have in the end. So the more specific that you are with what you really want, where you want to live, what kind of car you want to drive, how much money do you really want to make, it's important for you to have a defined identity in what you want money to mean to you in your life, right? And do not compare yourself to somebody else's life. It has to be relevant to you, and you're rich, okay? So remember, you and you're rich. And when you do that, what it will do is simplify your life. If you feel like you are running on a hamster and you're always in a rat race, chasing after everything, trying to make more money, you got 2, 3, 4 jobs, you working overtime, you up at night looking at Shopify. How could I do this on Shopify? How can I do this on Amazon? How can I, start a direct marketing or direct sales business? All of these things, all of those options, those how are great. The thing is it designed to support the life that you want? And if you don't know what kind of life that you want, then everything is going to look good. So you got to design what life you want, and then kind of do backwards engineering. When you design your life, then you can eliminate what does not correlate with that vision. And that simplifies everything for you. You be like, oh, nope, this don't align with my dreams, so I'm not interested in that. You actually begin to say no more. Not, oh yeah, let me take a look at it. Oh yeah, no, none of that. You begin to say, no, thank you for sharing that with me, but this is not something that correlates or aligns with my greater vision for my life. But I appreciate you sharing it though. So those are the types of conversations that you begin to have when you have clarity, when you know that you know that you know that you know what you actually want. And this is where people struggle. They don't know what they want, right? They don't take the time to write it out. So today we're going to do that. All right, we're going to do that. So one of the next things that you have to do is definitely talk about your future, right? So we're going to write down your future. We're going to write it down, your best life, as if it's already happened. We're going to write it in the present tense. So if money wasn't an issue, if location wasn't an issue, if time wasn't an issue, you had all the resources, you had all the tools, you had everything at your fingertips, what would your life look like? That's a good question, isn't it? Yeah, I know. That's why I asked it. What would your life look like? And then, sometimes people are like, well, I don't know. I guess I would, live in a big house and I would do this. I'd be like, okay, well, where's this house? Where's your house? What's the square foot of it? What size is it? How many bedrooms do you have? How many bathrooms do you have? What kind of furniture do you have? All the way down to like what kind of tile is on the floor. Like it needs to be that specific and that granular. Like what's the paint on the wall? What do you want? You have to do the homework and decide what you want. And then we price it out, and then we work backwards to determine what will support our lifestyle, what's going to support our new money story, our new journey, our new transformation. You could see yourself living in your own possibilities. I mean, this is important. This is your life. You can do this in your lifetime. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, okay, Jackie, that sounds all good and dandy. I know it's good for you and I know it's good for your clients, but I don't think this is going to work for me. I've tried that before. I've gotten a journal, and you started writing and you started doing all of these things. Okay, fine. I'm going to give you that. But here's what you did not do. You didn't tap in. You didn't have the support. You didn't have the conversation and dialogue of somebody actually listening and believing in you and actually asking you more relevant questions, like how are we going to put it together, strategizing, masterminding, and putting a plan together so that you can actually live your best life. Not many people have that kind of resource available to them, and in this free workshop, this is what you have available to you right now. So take advantage of it so that you can carry this forward and begin to implement your plan so that you can actually live your best life. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about like what's missing. What do you think is missing? All right. And the thing that's missing, or if anything is missing at all, do you have the skill set, right? Do you have the tools, resources, anything like that to actually put it into action and fill that gap? All right. So this is where most people kind of struggle a little bit. They always think about what they don't have versus what they do have. And to be honest with you, we all have a lot more than we give ourselves credit for, right? So we normally lean as humans. I don't know why. We always want to complain about something that we don't have, when the truth is being gracious and having gratitude and acknowledging what you do have is actually the precursor, right? It's the prerequisite for increase. So keep that in mind. But it's okay to identify some things that you're missing and then putting a plan in place to cure what you're missing so you can fill that gap. All right. And then we're going to invent the new possibilities, a life living it limitless. Oh my gosh, being a money magnet, being and living your highest possibilities and your dreams, experiencing your maximum freedoms, the 4 freedoms, the time freedom, having the time to just wake up whenever you wanted to wake up, get up and do what you wanted to do when you wanted to do it. The location freedom, man, today I want to go to Paris today. So today I'm going to Paris today, like whatever it is that you want to do. Or, next week you and the kids are going to the Caribbean. You guys are going to spend a week on the beach together and you're going to work remotely from wherever you are in the world. Like that's location freedom, isn't it? And then thirdly, financial freedom. Go beyond having the bills paid. Like I lived a very, very long time where my mindset was like 30 days. Like that's all I could think. Like a budget beyond 30 days was just like, I can't even process it, right? It was just all about, hey, was the bills paid this month? And then all I would think about is like, okay, what I got to do to make sure the bills are paid next month. And I know that there's somebody out there right now that's thinking the same thing. You're just living in the 30-day cycle where all you can think about is did I get, the essentials paid? Anything that wasn't essential may have gotten paid, but may not have gotten paid, right? So that's part of your money story. And that was part of my money story too. And I had to like really break that story and rewrite it because it wasn't serving me. And to be honest with you, it made me very vulnerable and it made me very, very insecure about my life, right? So everything on the outside looked very, what you call it, like made up, manicured. I was, always looking my best at all times, but inside I was like dying. Like I was so insecure. I had so much debt. I didn't know how I was going to like get out of debt. It was really bad. Like I would wake up in the middle of the night, just looking at the ceiling. I was anxious all the time. I was constantly like screening my calls. If it was a bill collector that was calling, I was like, ooh, voicemail. I can't talk to you today. Every time like a white envelope would come in the mail, it would just make me like my heart would start beating. And like I felt like, just gut wrenching. Like I would feel like nauseous because I knew that it was another statement, coming in the mail. And I was like, I just don't want to live my life like that anymore. I want to take control of my money story, my finances, so I could have the freedom to live my best life. And if this is you right now, and I'm talking to you right now, and I know that this is resonating with you, then you also need to rewrite your money story so that you can live the freedom that you deserve to have, right? So that's really what will happen when you go through this transformation. That's the reason why I created this course, so that you can have the opportunity to explore the possibilities of what life could look like without the restraints, without the limitations, and without those fears and those like restrictions, right? You can have a really good life like today, not tomorrow, not, sometime 20, 30, 40 years in the future or the ever after. I'm talking about taking control of your life right now, right here, so that you can begin to actually like be happy, enjoy yourself, enjoy everything about life, right? Just living it out loud and living it through the possibilities. So we're going to be inventing new possibilities. So I want you to write your life in the present tense with your new possibilities, right? So after you do that, the next thing that you're going to do is I want you to say out loud what your possibilities are. And it's going to sound a little something like this. Are you ready? So I am inventing new possibilities. And the possibilities for myself is being X, right? Is being this, right? So for me, the new possibilities that I was rewriting and inventing for myself in my money story had me being free. It had me being a exceptional giver instead of a taker. Like I wanted to give more. I wanted to donate more. I wanted to be involved in like my favorite charities. That was something that was like really important to me. I wanted to be able to freely give to my church, to tithe and to give offerings and to, not even like to think about it, to be the first one to race up to the altar to like drop my check. Like that's what I wanted to be. That's my new possibilities, right? So I wanted to be accountable. I wanted to be adventurous. I wanted to be free. I wanted to be stable. I wanted to be safe. That's a really big, it was a really big deal for me. I mean, that's the reason why I had joined the military and I went back to school and I got the degrees, climbed the corporate ladder, did all of those things, is because at the end of the day, what I was really looking for was stability. I was really looking for being safe. I really was looking for peace of mind and predictability. And that's what the new possibilities meant for me, is to be safe, is to have like predictable income, to have peace of mind about my income, to be able to like sleep at night so I could have my, my best rest possible, good dreams instead of nightmares. I know I'm talking to somebody right now. I know you're feeling me, what I'm saying right now. I'm telling you, it is a really, really big deal. And all of our decisions, the longer we go by not addressing these issues, not addressing our money story, what it does, it delays our happiness. It delays our best life. It delays our possibilities. It delays our freedom. And I know that you deserve more than that. You deserve to have the freedom and the lifestyle and the possibilities that you always are daydreaming about anyway. So let's work together and actually figure out how you can actually have it right now. All right. So that's what our lesson is for today. So you guys can download the guide down at the bottom here, and you can follow along and you can write out what those possibilities are, right? And also what your possibility statement is. Then you're also going to write out what's working for you, what's not working for you. And then we're going to discuss also what is missing. And do you have the skill sets and the action plans to implement what is missing, all right? So I know this feels like it's a lot of work, but no one said it was going to be easy, all right? So you're getting a great value right now. Because this is something that I'm totally passionate about. If you're working with me in my real estate coaching program where I'm teaching you real estate investing strategies, one of the first things that we do is this as a prerequisite. We rewrite the money story and address it. And my clients are always really shocked by it because they're saying what in the world? Why am I doing this? And I'm like, you tell me. Let's work this out together, because everyone's always on a mission to make more money. But the question is, why? What does it mean to you? How do you know when you've had enough? What does it mean? How do you know when you're living your best life? How do you know if you don't plan and identify, define, and specify what that looks like for you? Okay. So I have created a new course, right? The Money Mindset, right? Money Masters Mind Shift Mastermind. Oh my God, it's like MMMM. So it's the Money Matters Mind Shift Mastermind. How cool is that? All right. So it's like the 4 M's, and it's a very tight-knit, exclusive, intimate, all the people by the hand and show them how to intimately actually rewrite their money story so that they can live passionately. And I actually show them how to make more money in their life. I show them all the different options there are in real estate investing. And once they define what their life looks like, then what we do is we align what their lifestyle, their best lifestyle and their best possibilities, the possibilities that they want to live, and we align it with the real estate investing strategy that actually fits their life, right? So, how interesting, making a plan to live your life and then finding the how that fits that plan. Remember we talked about that backwards engineering? So it actually starts with being very detailed and being very specific about what you really want in your life. And I think that we don't do a lot of that. As a matter of fact, I know we don't. From a really early age, even in our educational process, they teach us more how to be our reward system is based off of tangible accomplishments, right? So, you want to win a championship. So you learn how to play, basketball or baseball, right? You learn how to hit the ball or dribble more, but they don't teach you the transformational part of life. No one really teaches you that kind of thing. And it's something that is so overlooked. And by the time you get to become an adult, you're like, wait a minute. Okay, I know how to dribble a ball. I know how to swing a bat. I know how to do these things. I know how to drive a car. I know how to do all this, but ain't nobody told me how to live my best life. No one told me how to do this. And we live our entire life searching for these answers. And it's like a secret, a secret struggle that we all kind of go through until we muddle ourselves through that process. But imagine having the opportunity to have somebody take you by the hand and show you the way and cut down your learning curve so that you can actually experience good success in your lifetime today. I mean, that is super, super powerful. But the course is only going to be And the mastermind is only going to be for a limited time. So I'm not taking on like a whole lot of people or anything like that. Like I said, it's very intimate, and you can really share a lot about your journey and about yourself in this group. And it's just going to be really, really special. And I'm really super excited about it. I'll tell you more about that opportunity in the next video. So look out for that in video number 4. And I'm going to have some specials available for those that are interested in actually signing up for it. Okay. So don't worry about it right now. It's going to be in video number 4. I just wanted to share that with you all. But for now, you guys got a lot of homework, right? So download the action guide right now, all right? And then also I want you to comment and share below and share with me what you thought about the lessons today and your experience thus far in this free workshop. And I'm so thankful, so grateful for everyone staying encouraged and participating in this workshop and staying with me, right? So you're watching the Jackie Jackson with the Money Matters Mind Shift Workshop. And until next time, I'll see you in video number 4. All right, talk to you guys soon.